2014. I had downloaded this app called Tinder.
Oh, we talked about that one.
Tinder. You know, everyone's like, that's the hookup app. I'm like, no, it's
That's
not.
what I always say, but some other people have had some good stories.
Yeah,
about Tinder,
I think Tinder is just very, whatever purpose you're using it for, it's good because you can be very direct and kind of weed out, you know,
all the BS.
Yeah, just all the crap, and people just tend to get right to the point of what they're looking for. So if they're looking for sex, then they don't feel bad about asking, you know, for that pretty immediately, you know, and then you just say, that's not what I'm interested in giving. Bye. You know, no.
Good to know. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Y'all hear that? Good to know.
So, but you know, I remember I actually would read people's profiles, not just look at the pictures or whatever. I would read people's profiles and see like who sounded like they could have some potential there. But I had probably been on the app for like a year and really like hadn't met, you know, obviously hadn't met anyone like significant on there. And then I had deleted the app a few times. I was about to delete the app again. But I swiped right on this one guy. He was from the Midwest, his profile said. It said that he liked to cook. I was like, oh, I like to eat. Great. And it just overall, his profile didn't come off as cocky, just very like down to earth. So I swiped right. And he had already swiped on me, so we were a match. And he sent me the first message not too long after we matched. You know, there was no like, let me wait. Let me make her wait it out.
Yeah, all those games. I can't take it.
No games. No games. So, but the very first weekend that we were in communication, he was driving to San Diego, which is like a 2-hour drive from where we live, and he was texting me the entire time, like voice texting me. So
I was like, wait a minute.
I know, right? 2 hours of just, you know, back and forth, back and forth. It was, you know, it was great conversation, even if it was via text. And then we finally did get into talking. We actually spoke on the phone like the next day, and then we made a plan to go on a date like the following week. First date was at Castle Park in Sherman Oaks, mini golf. So you know, Sunday evening is very casual. He dropped like the golf club on my toe at one point, which I was like, oh my god,
come on now, Joel, come on now.
I thought he broke my toe. I thought he broke my toenail. It was a mess. He said, ay, ay, ay. And I was like, people really say that, like in real life. But anyway, so we had a great time mini golfing, and we didn't want the night to end. So I said, all right, well, let's go get some food. So we went to Costa Vega, had a great time, even more conversation. You know, and I just realized after continuing to talk to him that very night, and I made a note in my notebook or journal, whatever it was.
Oh man.
I still have the note. I didn't say anything cliche like he's the one, because I just wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But I just wrote down, I said, there's something about this one. He's obviously, even at this point, like very different from anyone I've ever met. And so I just said, So, and I also saved the golf balls from that first date. Yeah, so it just, he left an impact on me that very first day. But when he walked me to my door, I still only gave him a hug, and he will tell you to this day that I gave him a bougie ass church hug. Pat on the back, butt out.
He's so funny.
Like no contact of the lower body. Yeah, but it was a great time.
It looked like he progressed, so that's good.
Yeah, we eventually progressed beyond that. Yeah, and then after that first date, I think I was set to go out of town for like 3 weeks. So that was it. I didn't see him again for another 3 weeks. And I went to the Dominican Republic and went to Boston.
I remember that with the girls.
Yep, and we made it a point to keep in touch that whole time. You know, we were FaceTiming and all kinds of foolishness. You know, it was worth it. You know, the honeymoon phase. You're like, giddy.
Oh man.
So
I didn't know this story, so
you
it's really cool. Like I know a little bit.
Okay.
And I know the results.
So fast forward. This first date took place in October, like October 26th, 2014 to be exact. And then fast forward to December of that same year.
We got to fast forward to November first, because I remember we were waiting for you for Thanksgiving. It was an important trip.
Okay. Okay. So Thanksgiving that year, my girls had of course invited me over to Krista's house, and I said, "Oh, I made plans with Joel already. You know, we're going to one of his friends' house, one of his coworkers. Y'all, he said he liked to cook. Turned out he's a chef, so like he likes to cook and he cooks well. So we went over to his friend's house for Thanksgiving and spent a majority of the day there. But we made it to Krista's house probably like 9, 10 o'clock. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No, we weren't camping. We were just in Westchester, I think.
Yeah, so our group had a little problem adjusting, but I'm like, hey,
yeah, because suddenly I wasn't hosting Thanksgiving and I wasn't there, like with the crew, with the rest of the crew.
And I was like, y'all let it live. And I remember like everybody was like, where is she? You know. Yeah. So we were happy for you, but you know.
I finally got there.
Okay, so that was Thanksgiving, and was it a good time? And
yeah, it was a great time. Okay. And I still remember the food, like I could taste it, and that was in 2014.
All right, so then you said December.
Fast forward to December. It was just a random Sunday in December, and I felt fine. Like nothing was. I didn't feel bad, but I don't know. I just had this feeling. Call it intuition now. I decided that I was going to take a home pregnancy test, and you know what? I took the test, and it came back positive. I was like, what? Oh, well, my exact first words were, shut the f up. I don't know who I was talking to because no one was talking. I think I was just really surprised. Like, I don't know why I took the test in the first place if I didn't expect it to, you know, potentially come back positive, but I don't know. I just had like a feeling. So
I believe that was the same night, or maybe the night before. I had a birthday party.
It was the night. Actually, you're right. It was a Sunday night, and you had a birthday dinner earlier,
like 6 or something, like
earlier
really early
that day.
Yeah. I had a bunch of people, and it was like a big table, and I remember them over there. And yeah, I think you may have told some of them. I don't know what you said, but you guys had a conversation, and you were like, "I wouldn't mind having a kid."
Oh,
yeah, geez. And I remember sitting over there, and you were like, "It wouldn't be the end of the world if I had a kid, you know. I wouldn't mind having one," or something like that. And it was just crazy. So then I found out later, but
yeah, you know,
I just remember that
there was never, even though I was surprised by the outcome, there was never any moment of, oh, I don't want this, or I don't want this with him. It was I think the things that popped, honestly, even though I was a grown woman, the first thing that popped in my head was, what will my parents say? Because they knew about Joel, but they had never met him. Just, you know, again, having like that close relationship with my parents all throughout my, you know, growing up. And I still have that close relationship with them, like as an adult, you know, talking to them on the phone like every day, sometimes twice a day. I just was like, I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want them to think that I've somehow made like a mess of my life, because I, you know, have only known this person for a short amount of time, and you know, obviously having a child with someone is like a lifelong commitment. So that was I eventually burst out crying, but that was the reason why. So, but within the next 24 to 36 hours, I was like ecstatic. And
what did he say?
Oh, he was excited from the very first moment. There was no like hesitation or what will my parents think. He just was like, ah! We have pictures that we took in the bathroom of me looking at the test, like, you know, and him also taking a picture of the, you know, pee stick, but like with a big smile on his face.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah, he was excited from day one.
Okay, so going back a little bit, did you have a type, and it's like Joel, like what type did you expect it to be with?
You know, I thought I had a type. I'm a black woman, so I thought I would end up with a black man. My type is not like, oh, 6 foot, you know, whatever skin tone. I just always assumed that I would end up with a black dude, period. Whatever, short, tall, light, dark, but I just knew he was going to be black. But I think at some point, you know, after dating unsuccessfully for so long, I just maybe thought, okay, expand your horizons a little bit, you know, think outside the box, be open to someone different. I think that was also part of the reason why I went on to Tinder, you know, just realizing that I don't have to meet someone in the traditional way, you know. Yes. I don't have to meet someone out at a bar or at a club, or it doesn't have to be like a friend introducing us. just, it is what it is. Try something new. I also have a friend who ended up with someone who was not her type either, but you know, she's married and you know has a child, and she's like, look, I ended up with this guy who is not my type, but you know, she's like, best decision I ever made. Yeah. You know, so yes, I assumed I would end up with a black dude. Joel is a short, bald Jewish dude,
and he's so funny. He's great, but
yeah, and he's like a slim dude. Like, I think I've always weighed more than him, so whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, open up your eyes, just expand your horizons. Don't put yourself or anyone in a box. You know, just be open to all things. Is my opinion on dating in LA.
Yeah.
A couple things I'll add. You know, you said that I was like the queen of, you know, our friendship circle.
Yeah.
I've always had like this kind of nurturing, you know, part of me. I just always want to take care of people. You know, it feels good to take care of people in some kind of way. You know, someone's sick, someone needs help, or just, you know, if it's a celebration of something, or just to be around people. I feel like being around people just, you know, it makes people feel good, makes people smile. So I've always liked being in that capacity. And that certainly spread over into my dating life. So, you know, everyone doesn't always appreciate that part of my personality, you know, especially guys. You know, sometimes there was a tendency for them to take advantage of all of my niceness, you know, and all of the nurturing and things that I was willing to do for them. And that's just because I wasn't doing it to seek anything from them, really. I was doing it because that's just me, and it made me feel good, you know, to do for them. But like I said, some people take advantage of that, and I definitely did have one experience that it was taken advantage of pretty like in a gross way, you know. So meeting Joel, it was great to just continue to be myself. I was really glad that I hadn't allowed myself to become like jaded after, you know, just after bad experiences and, you know, unsuccessful dating. So I was glad that I was able to still want to be that type of person, and he never took advantage. But then he also, you know, in turn, he gave a lot to me, and that I don't think is anything that I had experienced was someone really doing for me. Like, oh, this is how it's not all just me giving, and the other person taking. You know, your partner, significant other, someone that's trying to court you, like, they're supposed to give to you and, you know, do nice things for you, treat you in a certain way. And so that was like evident from the very beginning as well. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I, you know, noted, you know, there was something different about him even from the first day, because he just always treated me very well, like better than, it's a way that I had never been treated before by anyone except my father. So, yeah, so we're all worth it too.
Yes.
Don't like delude yourself into thinking for whatever reason that you are not worth someone's best, because you are. There, you know, I don't want to get into detail, but there were definitely times in my life where, I don't know, I was just living in a way that I'm not proud of. There was definitely a time where I probably said to myself, I am not worth someone's best, knowing that it was wrong, but more just, I think, just, yeah, knowing that I could do better. So like, okay, yes, I am worth it. And really believing that. I knew things to do that could like set me up for success or just put me in a better place. And so I think just as I've gotten older, I've just gotten better about listening to myself and trusting myself and not doubting myself. And so things tend to fall into place or just progress in a different way when you're just trusting your gut. Trusting God, or if you're a believer, you know. But if you know better, just listen to that voice that says, you know, do this, do that. Don't necessarily feel like you have to do the popular thing or whatever.
Like one of the purposes of the show is for a viewer to relate to one of the guests or relate to me. And for the show not to look like Instagram posts, you know, because Instagram posts always look like, you know, people's best for the most part. And it always looks like their highlights or whatever. So I really want to. That's why I'm like, I don't want this show to be perfected, and that's why I just want the real and the raw, and I want people to know the ins and outs so people can relate, you know. And I want it relatable to people, not just artists, not people that seem like they have it all together, because I want people that we all don't have it all together yet, and had an interesting journey. So
or not together all the time. I was texting with Pysa before I got here, and I said, I wish I had my hair done, you know, because this is mom life now. I don't get to keep my every 2-week hair appointment all the time. Sometimes stuff comes up, you know.
So I just really love the natural look, and we want you to come the way you are. So
also, husband says that too. He is husband now, y'all. Maybe it's not everybody's jam, but he appreciates the natural, not overdone. I
had a feeling he would.
Not overdone woman. So, which I'm like, great, because I only put on makeup for a special occasion.
Yes. It's, you know, it's interesting too. At the beginning, you mentioned the guys out here want supermodels and tall and stuff, and I don't really find it being that way. But it's interesting to hear your perspective.
Your experience has been.
Well, when you said you were 5'2", I was like, ooh, that's the perfect height, because guys like one of the shows I watched, the Patty Stinger or something.
Okay.
Millionaire. She said, "Oh, they like spinners, and you would be considered a spinner. That means you're short and they can spin. You know, we'll just let you guys go with that." Okay. But I'm like, "Oh, that's the perfect height."
Is this like black dudes or dudes in general?
In general, I think guys love short girls. I do, and then I'll hear also, because we're in the acting industry, like a lot of these guys are super short. So, and I actually always have a thing. I'm 5'6". We talked about this. I keep growing half an inch and shrinking and growing, but whatever. Something going on. But I'm 5'6", and then I'm like always subconscious about heels and, you know, like looking like the tall person. So, you know, it has its pros and cons. But I was just like, it's interesting hearing from a shorter girl that would be that's the height that a lot of us wish we were. Say something about like, oh, well, they always want the taller girls. What was like some of your most difficult times? You did talk about a difficult relationship, but like, was there a time where you felt dark and like it was never going to happen for you or anything?
No, I'm always someone that's just been optimistic, and I had come to the point where I said, well, if it doesn't happen for me, I'm still going to be okay. I'm happy because I also have, you know, a good family and a group of friends that I'll always feel uplifted when you know, if I'm having a moment when I'm feeling down. I've never been someone that just wants to like wallow in pity or wallow in a place of sadness, even when things aren't going the way that I would like them to. I've always, you know, after a day or two, just been able to like rally, pull myself together and be like, all right, what do you got to do? Life's going to go on, so you got to go on too, you know. Honestly, I think, I don't think there was ever a time where I really was like just dark and, you know, sad about, you know, the way that the dating life was going or not going. So I just said, you know, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, I'll be okay.
Wow. So, I love that. Yeah. That's admirable, because
it's hard. It's not easy to do, because there are definitely like days when you're like, oh, I wish I had that companionship, or, you know, just like, oh man, there are days when you feel like that, but you just can't feel like that all the time. So I was like, I'm not going to let myself feel like that all the time, because my life is good, you know, even without that person there. So
would you ever call on your friends when you would have a moment, or what would happen if you would have like kind of a bad day?
Probably.
Or would you watch Waiting to Exhale by yourself or something?
No. That was, you know, that was always like too much drama for me. I love Waiting to Exhale. I love that when she burns all his stuff. That's amazing.
I like that. It's too much drama for you, though.
Yeah, it's too much drama for me. I would watch like the 5 Heartbeats or something that would like crack me up laughing.
Oh,
you know?
I like that.
Or call y'all and be like, hey, who wants to order takeout and watch Golden Girls or whatever. You know, so maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why I had like such good relationships with my friends, because I kind of, y'all were my relationship, you know, like y'all were who I spent that time with. So I mean, really, we just want, like, people just want human connection, personal connection, but I just wanted, you know, companionship, love from people, and so you know, and to spread that. So, you know, that can come in many ways. It doesn't